Hey, what's good? Coach Colin Castello with Shotmechanics Basketball, and today I'm going to give you a few stupid simple ways to beat any full court press. All right, now a full court trap is something that gives a ton of players anxiety because they don't want to turn the ball over, and a lot of times if they do, they're going to end up getting benched. So today what I wanted to do is give you a few simple keys to help you beat any full court pressure. That way, no matter what the defense throws at you, you're going to be ready for it. But before we jump into it, I want to make sure we get your handle right. So all you got to do is click the top link description down below and get free instant access to my power handle workout. This is my signature workout to help your hand speed, your quickness, and to ensure that no defender is going to be able to take the ball from you. Why don't you check it out? All right, so I got my assistants here set up in our full court press. So we're gonna pretend like this is like a 1-2-2 or something like that, where we've got a top guy and we've got a bottom guy. Now, this is just kind of the way we got this set up, but pretty much any full court pressure, these tips are gonna apply. So even if it's a man-to-man pressure or something like that, all these are gonna work. So basically what we got set up here is as I catch the ball, let's say it's an inbound pass or a rebound I take off, the first key that can help you out is to save your dribble. Save your dribble. So the number one thing that a lot of players do is they catch the ball in inbounds pass, and as soon as they catch it, they put a dribble down and they start going, right? The problem with this is dribbles ignite traps. As soon as I put down a dribble, it's gonna allow the guys to know where I'm going and they're gonna start to come trap me, right? So the very first thing we wanna do is save that dribble. So as soon as I catch the ball, I wanna survey the landscape first before I put a dribble down, and then I can see what I have, right? Think about the point of a press or a full court pressure is to speed up the ball handler to get them to make wrong decisions, right? I coach a bunch of basketball, and whenever we throw a full court press on somebody, it's basically just to speed them up. We don't really care if we get a steal. I mean, that's great if it happens, but most of the time we're trying to get other teams to throw the ball out of bounds, throw a bad pass going towards the basket, right? Speed them up, make them uncomfortable. So tip number one, catch the ball before putting a dribble down immediately, survey the scene, see what you got, and then use your dribble with purpose once you need it. All right, so the next key that'll help you out a ton is to use ball fakes. This is pretty much just like a full court zone, if you can think about it. And ball fakes are a great way to shift the defender, get them moving so you can get an opening for that dribble to beat the trap, right? So if I catch the ball here and I haven't used a dribble yet, as these guys are coming up thinking about trapping me, I can use ball fakes, whether it's a deep one down the sideline to get him to back off, or if I want to fake this way to my outlet guy to get him to slide. If we can use ball fakes early, we're gonna be able to move them one direction or the other to open up and relieve that pressure, right? Think about this guy. If he's coming up to trap me really aggressively, if I throw a ball fake here, he's probably gonna take a step backwards, and it's gonna allow me a little extra space to maybe use a retreat dribble to get a ton of space or to attack in middle, right? So use ball fakes to shift the guys that are trying to trap you, shift that full court pressure before you use your dribble still, because that's gonna get them out of position and it's gonna allow you to beat them a lot easier. All right, so next tip, let's say you've used your dribble, you've started to kind of attack this pressure. Maybe they're starting to close in on a trap or something like that, so why don't you come in, you come in. The next thing we want to be able to do is use retreat dribbles. The number one problem you can do in a full court press situation is to get into trouble and pick it up, right? This is what a ton of players do. They do this, guys start trapping, they go, they try to throw a pass over here, or they travel or something like that, right? We want to master the retreat dribble because it's one of the biggest keys to beating pressure. So as I come in here and I start to get trapped, I want to be able to retreat, keep my dribble alive to get space away from it so I can survey the court. Now the big important key to this one is I got to keep my eyes up on the retreat, right? I see it all the time. Players get in here, they retreat, their eyes go down, and this trap just follows them out, right? Their eyes go down and then they go out and they pick it up and they're in trouble, right? So when you're retreating with the purpose of finding the open man, breaking the press with the pass, right? So as I get in here, they're getting close and I start backing up, my eyes go downhill, I start looking to the sideline, I start looking to the middle, I start looking at my release over here. So as I'm getting back, now I'm looking for my pass to go over the top to get it out of pressure. Because think about it like this, if they're doubling me, that means it's 3-on-4 somewhere on the court, right? So I gotta get it out quick out of that retreat dribble. All right, so next tip, all else has failed, we've got to beat the press with the dribble, right? And so the first thing you want to think about is attacking one man. So what happens to a lot of players is two players come to trap them, they get in here and they get frustrated, they get nervous, and then they just kind of like dribble around and go, what am I gonna do? I gotta beat this, and then they kind of panic, right? What you wanna think about is you want to attack one guy. You wanna pick one guy, put a move on him to attack to beat. So in this situation, most of the time, I always like to try to attack the middle guy, because if I try to attack the sideline guy and I go sideline, he's got the sideline to help him out, right? It's almost like an extra defender on that side. So what I always like to do is try to choose the middle man to attack, unless this guy's like a super weak defender on the sideline, right? So the idea is, don't even worry about the opposite guy. I'm trying to beat this guy and I'm trying to get him middle. So if I'm trying to get him middle, I might just jab step inside to slide him and then beat his hips over the top, right? So once you start thinking about it like, I don't even care about this guy because who cares? I'm gonna beat this dude middle, it becomes a lot easier, right? Other ways you can try to beat him middle, if you haven't used your dribble yet, you can pass fake to get him to slide. You can set him up with some sort of double move where you're inside to behind the back, right? Whatever it is that you're gonna use, don't worry about this guy on the outside. Focus on the man on the middle and try to get him beat, and once you do, you beat the whole press. All right, the next key to absolutely obliterate any full court pressure is to master the no-look pass. The no-look pass is really one of the secret keys to being almost unguardable in the full court, because what you can do is you can manipulate the defense with your eyes to get to openings. So think about it like this. If I'm coming up and I've got a trap coming, and I want to throw to my guy on the sideline, but there's probably somebody in the middle in that back side of the full court press, if I just look at the guy I want to throw and throw it to him, everybody knows exactly where it's going. They're going to go get it, right? Just like that. So what we want to do instead is if I want to throw to the sideline, I want to start looking off the opposite direction and then whip the ball that way. Because you can think about your eyes tell the story to the defenders. And everybody sitting back in this full court press is watching the ball handlers see what they're going to do. So as I shift my eyes this way, the whole full court is going to shift that way as well. Same thing with opposite. If I start looking down the sideline, if I want to go to the middle on the pass, if I start looking down the sideline, I can throw it this way for the opening, right? It's really all about thinking 2 steps ahead, playing chess instead of checkers, right? You want to think about what you want the defense to do, force them to do it with your eyes, that way you can throw to the opening, right? You can use this in any scenario. Even if I'm trying to throw a release pass back up the court, as I come down this direction, and I see a trap coming or whatever it is, I can look off towards the middle before I throw my release that way. If you can start throwing no-look passes, I promise you, it becomes very easy to break pretty much any press they throw at you. All right, the next major key, and this is one, again, I kind of touched on it just a little bit earlier, but don't rush. Don't rush, right? Think about how long a 10-second violation to get to half court is. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, right? It's a long time. You got a long time to get to half court before that 10 seconds is up. But for a lot of players in their brain, they think it's really fast. They think they got to go as quick as they can. And again, like I mentioned, that's the whole point of the press. So there's nothing wrong with catching a pass on an outlet here, seeing what you got, backing it out, taking a little time, saying, hey, no, set up. Yep, you middle. Yep, you sideline. All right, here we go. Let's get them, right? Because if you go fast, that's exactly what the press wants you to do, right? If you're patient, you can get everybody organized. That can help out a ton. Now, with that being said, there are times to go fast. Let's say a team's been pressing you really hard and it's been really tough, and you get a quick outlet or a long rebound or something, you get a pass here, and they haven't set up their press yet. That might be a good time to go quick before they can get it set up, right? So you want to kind of see where you're at, where you get the ball, what the timing is, and that sort of stuff, and then maybe move really fast or not fast, right? Remember, patience is your friend most of the time when it comes to full court pressure. All right, don't forget, if you want to take your handle to the next level, click the top link in the description down below to get free instant access to my power handle workout. I promise you, it's a quick hitting workout that you're not going to want to miss, and it's 100% free. Also, if this video helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button, and then hit the comment section down below and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. This channel is brought to you by the people for the people, so all you got to do is leave it down below, and hopefully we'll be able to get to it. And if you're new to Shotmechanics, pop that subscription button, ding the bell notification, because we're putting out videos every single week that are going to get you better, that you're not going to want to miss. All right, again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with Shotmechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching, and until next time, splash on.